Get this. A mother who was peacefully sitting outside on school bleachers to watch her son play a school football game in Logan, Ohio, was brutally grabbed, shoved, pulled, tased, handcuffed, pushed down the steps, and arrested by a local cop Wednesday. All for the horrible crime of being outside without a mask on her face. Greetings, everyone. I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC-TV. An incredible example of blame the victim journalism. The Marietta Times' Janelle Patterson covers some of this amazing story. A story made known to most Americans because of a video taken by another person in the school bleachers. Video that Ms. Patterson and the editors of the paper did not see fit to embed. In fact, they didn't even link to the video or any of the other videos taken by witnesses of the attack. So, there are two stories here. One, first, is the tale of Governor Mike DeWine, the Republican governor's Constitution-defying late July executive order commanding that residents don microbe-amplifying masks. All individuals in Ohio must wear facial coverings in public at all times when 1. At an outdoor location that is not a residence. 2. Outdoors but unable to maintain 6-foot social distance from people who are not household members. 3. Waiting for riding, driving, or operating public transportation such as a taxi, a car service, or a private car used for ride sharing. And then there's His Highness's grand and magnanimous exceptions. The order only requires those 10 years old or older to wear a mask. Additional exclusions include 1. Those with a medical condition or a disability or those communicating with someone with a disability. 2. Those who are actively exercising or playing sports. 3. Those who are officiants at religious services. 4. Those who are actively involved in public safety. Or 5. Those who are actively eating or drinking. I wonder what Governor DeWine is drinking. None of which said orders fall anywhere within his so-called powers under the Ohio or U.S. Constitution, and many of which openly breach the Ohio Constitution and the U.S. Bill of Rights. Foremost among DeWine's breaches is his utter contempt for the Ohio Constitution's Bill of Rights, Article 1, subsection 3, which states, right to assemble. The people have the right to assemble together in a peaceable manner, to consult for the common good, to instruct their representatives, and to petition the General Assembly for the redress of grievances. Of course, it's possible that DeWine's mask wearing has interfered with his ability to read. Regardless, and despite the growing buzz about a bill proposed by Republican Ohio State Representative Diana Grendel that would effectively put an end to COVID-19 restrictions, a bill, by the way, co-sponsored by what looks like only members of the GOP, and about which Grendel said, quote, "The factual reality is there is no emergency. Originally, there was a threat to hospital capacity. It never came to fruition. Our hospital capacity for COVID was never more than 15%. Currently, it is de minimis." DeWine insists on continuing his authoritarian charade, a sad, tyrannical charade that sees a gigantic cop manhandle, tase, handcuff, and arrest an innocent woman visiting a school to see her 8th grade son play football. And that brings us to the second part of this attack. The rhetorical attack through slippery phraseology and editorial omission leveled by the journalist and her editor or editors against the non-aggressive woman Alicia Kitts of Marietta, Ohio. Just the opening of the Marietta Times piece shows a prime example of blame the victim mentality and a tendency to not address or cite the actual initiator of the aggression here, that being the enormous policeman. Non-compliance with state mask mandates during an 8th grade football game at Logan and video-recorded resistance resulted in the tasing and arrest of a Marietta City Schools parent Wednesday. This completely flips the narrative, placing the blame on the non-aggressive mother who was exercising her right to peaceably assemble at a game where the football players, the cheerleaders, and one of the approaching cops, a female who appears shortly after the start of the video, didn't have on masks. In fact, the giant man who arrested Ms. Kitts, a man identified only as Officer Smith by Skylar Stewart, another videographer at the scene, lost his mask as he wrestled with and tased the mom, eventually putting it on again in an improper fashion. So that means that the policeman committed precisely the same offense as the woman he shoved, shocked, handcuffed, and legally kidnapped. What if she had done that to others? Now, in reality, Ms. Kitts wasn't attacking anyone. She was peacefully sitting beside her mother, identified as such by Teresa Schulteis, the athletic director of the host school of Logan. Oh, and according to Megan Fox of PJ Media, a witness stated that the taser sent a charge through the metal seats, and yeah, you got it, shocked a child nearby. Meanwhile, Marietta City Schools athletic director Cody Venderlich was so busy complying with unconstitutional mandates and bureaucratic orders, he, like the Times, appeared to miss the point and blame the victim, as if she were some kind of interloper at Logan who didn't have a right to be there on tax-funded land, bothering no one. I'm grateful that it didn't happen in Marietta, but it saddens me that it was Marietta that caused it in Logan, said Venderlich. As athletic directors, we've talked about this too, and the biggest challenge about dealing with visiting fans is people behave much better at home than when they're on the road. But of course, Ohio's government is arranged in such a way that people from some towns are forced to subsidize the educational systems of other towns. And as mentioned earlier, this is a public place where the constitutions of Ohio and the U.S. are supposed to apply. Let's get this straight for those in Ohio who, like Venderlich, Officer Brown, the assistant principal of the Logan School, Adam Twist, the maskless female officer, and all those who either actively participated in this brutality or stood by and did nothing to stop it. You need to learn the meaning of voluntary association. The people who were interacting voluntarily against no one's will were Ms. Kitts and her mom. The people who were not only invading their space, but physically attacking them and presented an actual threat of forcibly infecting Ms. Kitts and her mom were all agents of the state, all paid only through the involuntary servitude of taxpayers like Ms. Kitts. The debate about the uselessness of masks, the fact that COVID-19 is about as deadly as the seasonal flu, and other matters pertaining to the Wuhan coronavirus are not germane to this at all. This is about rights, force, aggression, people who live off taxpayers, and reporters who completely miss the fundamental factors in a story about the infringement of our rights. Until more Americans understand these important points and understand the problems tied to public funding of anything, funding that always takes money even as it reduces liberty, the tyranny will not decrease. I thought I had to mention this to you because this story is so important. Please share this if you like the video. Please tell friends about this. If you're watching on YouTube, by the way, make sure you like and that you're still subscribed because sometimes people do drop off the subscription list. And if you get the opportunity, please visit MRCTV.org to find out what the whole team is doing. We'll see you on Facebook. We'll see you on Instagram. I'm on Twitter at Guard Goldsmith. And I want to thank you again for all your great communication in the comments section at YouTube. I really enjoy seeing all of your thoughts. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.